Johnson's War on Poverty. So in 1964, he established an experimental program known as Project Upward Bound. In 1965, through the Higher Education Act, he established another program called Talent Search. Then finally, in 1968, there's a program called Special Services for Disadvantaged Students, later known as Student Support Services or the SSS program. These three federal programs established access to higher education for students who came from disadvantaged or low-income families. So tonight, we celebrate SIU's three TriO programs: Project Upward Bound, Student Support Services, and McNair Scholars. These programs help traditionally disadvantaged students become successful in high school, college, and graduate school. The programs offer tutoring, mentoring, workshops, financial literacy, undergraduate research, and numerous other opportunities. And so the goal of the programs are to help students gain access to and graduate from college so that eventually you guys can all go out and pursue your dreams. So tonight, we're so excited to have a special guest that will inspire you to do just that, to graduate from college and go out to achieve your dreams. And so to introduce you to our special guest tonight, I'll have Jay Sean Murray come up.
Hello, everybody. How y'all feeling today? Y'all good? Well, hello, y'all. My name is Jay Sean Murray, and I had the honor of introducing these three African-American male entrepreneurs. Please help me. Please meet the owners and founders of the Black Bread Company, Mr. Charles Alexander, Mr. Ark Edmond, and Mr. Jamel Lewis. These three best friends, all from the South Side of Chicago, have partnered up to start the first ever Black-owned bread slice company in the world. They strive to inspire others to believe in. They strive to inspire others to believe in their own individual contributions to improve the world around them, to make the world around them with one great idea at a time. Please help me give them a round of applause.
Shots fired. Ambulance en route.
Gun violence is soaring.
Homicide so far this year already up nearly 50%.
Seems to be connected to a nationwide trend, one that has a lot of causes and no simple answers.
The level of gun violence in today's inner cities is another tragic result of the failed war on drugs. One study revealed that the violent crime rate more than tripled in U.S. cities like Chicago and Detroit between 1965 and 1995.
You feel pretty good when you wake up in the morning that things are going to get a little better?
Not lately, no.
Why?
Might have.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Might have to go downtown. You might have to go.
As this video buffers, hopefully get it start acting right. But we're happy to be here. I'm Charles Alexander.
What's going on?
I'm Mark Edmond.
I'm Jamel Lewis.
And so basically, we here, we want to celebrate with you guys, what we was able to accomplish so far. Excuse me, this sounds kind of a little weird. So basically, during the time of George Floyd, I was able to walk into a grocery store. Personally, I like to look at myself as a visionary. I like to be able to know opportunity when I see one. For myself, at this time, everybody protesting, the city going wild. So for me, I always believe in the economics, the dollar. So my personal protest was I'm only supporting African-American owned products, period, right? So as I went to the grocery store, first thing on the list happened to be bread. That's when I realized that there's no African-American owned bread, in the aisle. Something that we all have in our household, something that we grew up on, something as basic as bread, so immediately we had to do something about that. And so when I left the store, called my two guys, let them know what I just discovered, and I'm like, yo, we gotta do something about that. I'm not a man of many words, but when I do speak, I advise you to listen. And once I called them, they said for sure they was down. So after we did our research, we realized, in fact, that the African-American owned bread industry is non-existent. And since then, we was able to, within a short time, I think we actually launched February 1st of last year, 2021. And within a year, our company is now valued over $50 million. Right now, we negotiating a contract. Thank you. Right now, we actually negotiating a contract right now that's worth $400,000 a week. That's a $20 million contract, and this is barely our second year. The whole point of me sharing that with you is for us to understand opportunities and money when we see it, and understand that what's the power in knowing that there's something that's completely different that we're not thinking about, that we're not taking advantage of, that's life-changing. This is generational. This is not about us coming on here and trying to, flex or anything of that nature. It's really to let us know. If we look around into this room, how many things in this room you think was African-American owned or manufactured? We walking on the floors, the carpet, the screen, the TV, this microphone, the chairs, the ceiling, the lights. Everything in this facility, 9 times out of 10, is not owned, manufactured, sold, or distributed by African Americans. We got to get out of the mindset of doing what all other African Americans do. How many of you guys know somebody that owns a clothing line? Exactly, right? We all. Because one person do it, they make a little money, then another person do it, the next thing you know, everybody want to do that same thing. But who's going deeper? Who want to go and be the guy who sell the T-shirts? Who want to be the guy who makes the T-shirts? Who want to be the guy who makes the machines to sew the T-shirts? So we got to just think. And one thing I love that you guys are here, man, you getting your education, and the whole point of you guys being here is to teach you how to think, to teach you and show you how to look at things differently. We all have our own expectations, and we all have our own mindsets and opinions. But when we can go out here and realize that there's our opportunities that has not yet been tapped into by us, then we can go out here and really start changing the trajectory of our people. The point of this clip to show you that we was trying to put up, hopefully it gets fixed, is this was a documentary that Beyonce mother, Tina Knowles, actually had us to do. And it showcased the violence that's in Chicago. And it tried to break the myth of black men are dangerous, right? It's on Discovery Plus. It's called Profile. We're not dangerous. I know a couple dangerous people, all walks of life. But the average African American is not dangerous. It's what the media might portray of us, and those are stereotypes that we have to break. The fact that you guys are here, you're in school, you're getting your education, you don't plan on being in the streets. But yet, sometimes even in these type of facilities, we want to act like we are in the streets, right? How many guys, y'all know, try to act like they tough here in the school, right? Yeah.
Not you.
Or not you being tough.
Not you.
But know somebody that always trying to be tough, right? It's like, for what, man? We here, we trying to learn. We trying to grow. We trying to network, right? So one thing I just share is, before I let my brothers talk, is just understanding the opportunities that surround us. Because it's those opportunities, it's those small things. Who imagine bread? Bread been around since, 100 years, right? 1920s. So since 1920 to 2021, we have not had an African-American-owned sliced bread company. But who you think invented the machine that sliced the bread? Absolutely.
Black man.
You see, so we are so creative. We created so much, but we haven't had the opportunities to take advantage of our own creations and be able to pass that down through our generations. It's enough for us to think about ourselves, but let's think about 4 to 5 generations after us. Let's think about what our great-great-great-great-grandchildren is going to have and is going to do. You know, we have to change our culture. You know, we spend a lot of money on the J's and the mics and, you know, a whole bunch of BS. Anything I own, anything that you see me rocking, I own the stocks. I own part of it. We have to change our mind. I don't buy Michael Jordan gym shoes if I don't profit off when people wear Michael Jordans. Thanks for wearing the J's. For real. You know, that's our thinking. You like Yeezys, you need to go holler at Adidas. Go buy you a stock. Just buy one. Buy two. Ask Christmas gifts. Instead of you asking for whatever you ask for your parents to buy you some stock. You know, if you got a girlfriend, buy her some stock. Invest in her. If you got a boyfriend, buy him some stock. Invest in him. You know, imagine if every year you get a stock. By the time you're 18, my kids, every year they get stocks for Christmas. By the time they're 18, they're going to have hundreds of stocks. You know, dividends, they get paid. They now, guess what? My son, he loved the Xbox 5. So I'm like, well, look, we got to figure out who make this Xbox 5 because we got to own a piece of it. It's only right. We make everything cool. We make people want to be certain things, wear certain things, do certain things. So we have to be able to take advantage of that and own and try to own these companies that's doing it.
Start the company.
Or start the company.
Start the company. Be the company that's doing it. So even when he asked about who knows anybody with a clothing brand, even those things are ideas. That's a cool thing to do. For example, I began taking interest in marketing and branding out of necessity. You know what I mean? Graduated high school. We all went to high school together. When I graduated, I had it in my mind. I had made up my mind at that point that I was interested in music and entertainment and, just being a recording artist. I wanted to get out there. I wanted to tour. I wanted to travel. But at this time, the industry has shifted. Around this time, this is when maybe Soulja Boy came out. And now you could be an independent artist. And now you could be on YouTube. And now, that became the wave. It went from artist development and record labels and big budgets to sitting at home on your computer making your own music and doing things like that. And that led me to say, okay, I have to do this myself. I have to be creative. I have to create a way for myself to make a living, to be successful, to be what I want to be in my life. And those things, those ideas that I had, I was able to act on them. This is what, at this point, maybe 15 years ago. I didn't know that those actions and those steps that I was taking then, those were the grounds that would lead me to this company, lead me to this opportunity. I learned marketing out of necessity before I even began to study it collegiately. I learned it on my own. I learned it in the field, if you will. So even just being creative, it may start with a t-shirt brand. It may start like that. Like I said, I own a t-shirt brand. It may start like that. But I didn't know that those things, but I didn't know that those things that I was doing, that I was learning, those skills I was building up, that those life or lived experiences that I was having and going through, it would ultimately lead to this day where I can do those same things. I can take those same steps, those same skills, those same principles that I learned, just like you guys are learning now, just like those classes that you may be taking that, you might be interested in one thing, but you got to take these other classes, these other electives that you may not be as interested in. You never know why you're doing what you're doing. You don't even necessarily have to completely know the full purpose or the full picture of why you're doing something. But I learned 15 years ago from the things I was doing then that those things, I'm learning now in hindsight, that those things have led to, again, like I said, me doing the same thing I've been doing. So even that, just being consistent with a thing, consistent in an area, locking in on a skill, locking in on a trade, locking in on just a focus, an emphasis, something that that you are just called to do or called to be. You never know where it'll lead you, so that when your homie or when one of your classmates or somebody hits you up with an idea that's a bit maybe more significant than a t-shirt brand. You might have been working on a t-shirt brand, but when your homie hits you up and says, hey, I left the grocery store and there are no African-American owned this brands, or there are no woman owned this brands, or there's no, whatever the case is, whatever's missing in the world, there's something missing in the world that each person in this room is supposed to provide.
Absolutely.
And you don't even necessarily know the significance of it. If you in your room just trying to make beats, trying to make, I'm trying to be an artist, I'm trying to write a song. I didn't know that those things that I had to do that I didn't necessarily want to do or didn't know how to do, I didn't know that those things would lead me here. And now I'm referred to as the marketing guru behind the Black Bread Company. I didn't plan that. I didn't know what a Black Bread Company was. I didn't know that I would get that phone call. Yep. I didn't know that everything I was doing before would lead to this point. But just locking in on those small tasks, whatever it is that's in front of you, knocking it out and doing it to the best of your ability, because it might be that thing that changed your life. It might be that area that you're studying that you don't like that might change your life. It might be that relationship with somebody that's on their game. Get around and stay around people that's on their game. That's where you want to be. They say if you hang around with 10 millionaires, you're bound to be the 11th. If you hang around 10, whatever else, you're bound to be the 11th of that too. So just locking in.
Yeah. Before I talk about like our journey, I got to give a huge shout out to Dr. Greer. Shout out to TriO. Shout out to me and the A5A. I'm a double alumni from SIU. So me being here is really, really special to come back in this capacity. Two of my homies right here that we started something historic. Dr. Greer gave me an opportunity in 2009, 2010 to work for Student Support Services TriO. And that cultivated a lot of experiences that I'm able to do right now. So shout out to the TriO, SIU, overall, A5A. We're just happy to be here. But I want to talk to y'all a little bit about just mindset and journey. I grew up in a broken home. My mother wasn't around, my father wasn't around, and so consequently, my great-grandmother, who was like 80-something years old at that point, 80 years old, she took care of myself and my two sisters. She got too old, and then my grandma had to take care of us for a little bit. And after that, my uncle started taking care of me. And I said that to say is that society tells us the trajectory of our lives based off our how we grow up, right? If you're in a broken home, you're not going to go to college. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. And many of us as minorities, as black people, wherever we come from in walks of life, you might have had certain issues and obstacles that you think might stop you from getting to where you want to go. But all three of us up here are living examples that what society can't dictate your trajectory in your life and your future, right? And so whatever you want to do, whatever direction you want to go into, whatever business you want to start, whatever career you want to go into, no matter your family situation, you got to keep pushing forward, right? We persevered with this company, right? One great thing, of course, we're the first ever, so that was awesome, the first ever, so we got a lot of media attention our first year. I was on an Ellen show in March of 2021, 1 month after we launched, ABC, NBC, just so many different networks, and that was beautiful. But we had to do the day-to-day work because we had to make sure people got their bread, we had customer service, we got marketing, we got sales. So all that media attention is cool, but if you're not doing the work, if you're not being persistent on what the company is or what you want to do, then you'll fail. So I just want to just say that real quick, no matter what your current situation is in your life and how you grew up, skies are still the limit.
Hey, and I would like to add to that failure part, because I think sometimes, you know, our ideal of failure is a little warped. You know, actually, I personally believe that and sometimes you have to fail your way to success.
For sure.
You have to develop a tough skin. If it's a certain class that you're going to, number one, go to your classes with a purpose. Learn what you need to learn for a purpose. It is not just a grade. The grade is only a byproduct of your purpose. It's either those that have a purpose and you're just doing the work because you know where you want to get to in life, and it's just those that are just trying to make the grade because they don't know what they want to do in life, and they don't care, and they think about the party last night, or they think about the party tomorrow, or they think about forget all that. Do the work. Show up. When you fail a test, don't get down on yourself. Don't be like, oh, man, I got to drop this class. Well, no, go back at it. I would take a test without the grade because I've got something to prove to myself. You could keep the grade. Give me the test because I want to pass it, because I want to learn it, because I have my purpose. Because your purpose is beyond this university. This university is the building blocks that's going to help propel you to where you need to go. But your purpose is out there. You got 4 years here, maybe 5 years. That's fine. But you got 30 plus years. You got 100 years out of this area. Then what you going to do? You only going to be as strong as you are right now. You gotta take time to understand what your failures are. And failure is only when you quit. Once you accept your failure, and then that's it, and you stop and you're defeated, that's when you lost. That's when it's an actual failure. But if you fail, then you go relearn it. Then you come back ready. You over-prepared. Now, that's a W. You know, we got to learn how to turn L's into W's. We born with the world against us. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I done seen more bodies drop by the time I got 13 years old than anybody should ever seen. I've been shot at. I done seen my cousin get shot in front of me. You know, I done avoided gangs my entire life. Going to school for me was an escape. It wasn't something that I wanted to do at the time. It was something for me to escape so I can survive, so I can live until I figure out that thing. And for me, it was the business course. It's just certain things that clicked for me to say, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to take this for real. My point is, if anybody in here gonna have a business degree when you graduate, have a business to match the degree when you graduate. Don't be here in 4 years, take all these courses, and you ain't start the business. Do the work. Do the business. I don't care how big or small it is. Think outside the box. Don't think like everybody else. And another thing I want to say, don't share all your ideas and your thoughts with everybody that you come across. It's certain people, certain individuals that will shoot your idea down.
And don't have no idea how to do it.
These guys call me a serial entrepreneur. So for me to come to them and say, yo, I got this idea with this black bread company. What's up? Let's do it. If they would have said, nah, man, that's stupid, I'd be like, I bet. Jamel, what would have happened?
He'd have started the first black bread company.
I would have started the first black bread company by myself. Because I understand my gifts. I understand my purpose. And I understand that just because you feel like I can't do it does not mean that I can't do it. You should do this for yourself. The fact that you guys are here, when you could have been anywhere right now, you don't have a class right now, like you're here, you showed up, you are already different.
Ahead of the pack already.
You're already ahead of the pack. But now it's about keep going. It's about keep pushing. It's about, yo, the four of you guys, y'all should have a business when you come up out of here. Figure out who your partners are. Figure out what your interest is. He studied communications. What's your role in the company?
Director of Communications. Shout out to the comm department.
Exactly. So what's the point of him studying communications and then we're going to be like, hey, man, you're going to be director of sales. Or you're going to be, nah, bro, this is what you've been studying. This is your passion. This is what you love. People are going to have the best communication from our company. You're going to make the company stand out. This man studied marketing. Duh. What else? Jamel, what's your role in the company?
I think it's marketing and advertising. Yeah. Director. It is what it is. Marketing and advertising.
There you go. You know. So once again, what's your purpose? You know, I know in a little while we're gonna have a Q&A, but whenever you guys address this, first thing I want to know is what's your major. You know, tell me your name, tell me your major, and tell me what's driving you. You know, are you the first person to go to college in your family? You know, are you the first person, you know, that has a brand new opportunity right now? I'll give anything. I'll give this up right now to come back and sit in your seat. Because there's so much you can learn. It's so much. If I could do this again, it'll be Black Bread 2.0. Instead of me talking about $50 million valuation, we'd be $1.1 billion. It's coming, but it would have been right now. Because what you guys have here is so rich. And plus, you're paying for it. I mean, hey, you're paying for it.
That's an incentive, right?
So if you want to go and pay for this school, and by the way, I'm completely debt free. You know, yeah, because what you want to do is you want to go out here, you want to pay these student loans off. You don't want to carry that around for 40, 50 years. You don't want to go out here and just buy a house and put the house in your name. I don't own anything. Nothing is in my name. I don't own anything. Why? Because I don't want the liability. If I do anything stupid, you sue me, you get nothing.
Make sure you sue him. You won't get nothing.
Don't sue me.
You won't get nothing.
You won't get nothing. Why? Because I don't own anything.
Mark Evan is protected.
You have to protect yourself. One thing about this country, it's a beautiful country. We have to start building certain things that we don't learn in our community. We look at protection in different ways that's going to get us locked up. The real protection is going out here, finding a legal, secure way to secure your future financially. Learning how important your credit is. For all of you guys that getting these credit cards, chill out on them. Take care of them. Go back to your mom, go back to your father, go back to your grandma. See if they got a great credit card that they paid on time every year for the last 30 years, and ask if they can add you to it. You don't need access to the card or the money. You need access to the history. We have to learn how to protect ourselves. Just like I protect my company, I got to protect my family. I drove here from Chicago. If I would get in a car crash, hurt somebody, sue somebody, or God forbid, if I died, I don't want my wife to fear about losing her home because somebody want to sue me because I hurt somebody. You know, I don't want my wife to have to deal with that. I got 3 kids. I don't want my kids to have to lose their home and lose certain things because their father wasn't smart enough to protect them and know how to protect them. No, you get me. You get what the car's insured. You get up to the max of that insurance. That's it. You know, so when I say you got to move with a purpose, move with a purpose. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. You're in college. Yeah, live a little. Be careful. Be safe. Be smart. Don't do nothing that you regret. Don't let nobody record y'all. You know, but go to these classes with a purpose. Talk with your teachers with a purpose. Network with a purpose. Your staff that's here can have so much knowledge and so many relationships that they can really help you guys out. You know, so go and utilize this network. Carbondale, SIU Carbondale is a huge network. Huge, with a lot of resources. But you got to go and get in tune with the resources. You got to go out here and figure out what's going on. The Black entrepreneur business, they have Black expos, they having this. Show up.
Pull up.
Pull up. And always give back. You know.
That's important.
Yeah, that's important.
That's important.
You know, we always gotta give back. We always want to look back. You know, and through, you know, the charities that we are part of, through the giving back, through we give tents and safe heaters to the homeless. You know, we give bread out to different areas when they have disasters and different things. You know, we always want to make sure that we giving back as much as we can. You know, you gotta always pay it forward. You know.
Yes, sir. As Mark just mentioned, my background is communications, and it's one thing I didn't know in college that in my career I've been at my background is college counseling and adjunct communication professor at St. Xavier University. So I've been in the communication realm for some years now. But one thing I didn't know until I got on this entrepreneurship journey is the importance of follow through. And the reason that's important for y'all to understand that right now is because sometimes when we ask somebody for something, we expect because of what we have and what we're able to give, they should just jump, right? Or they should listen to us. But what we fail to realize is that when it's you that needs something from somebody else, we have to think about what's the outcome for me. And I'm saying that to say is that most 90% of the opportunities we've had within the past year didn't come from one email or 2 emails. It came from 3 and 4 emails and 3 and 4 and 5 text messages, right? So in your mind right now, you might look like, I'm not sweating nobody. But if it's something you want, you do what's necessary to get it done.
Sleep outside.
Right? If necessary, right? And so the power of follow through is so important, right? We can break that down in terms of the classes you have now or organizations you're a part of, right? You might not do well in classes Mark was talking about, and you say, you know what, I didn't do well in that exam, forget it, you know. But it might be an opportunity for extra credit. It might be an opportunity to just go speak with that professor. One thing I learned in college is that I didn't just go talk to a professor when I didn't do well on the exam or I didn't do well on the paper. I went to talk to a professor because they had office hours to say, you know what, Dr. Neal, in class today, you know, what we talked about, that theory was interesting to me, right? Can you tell me more? Right? Can you tell me where did that originate from? So now, when you don't do well on the paper, at least Dr. Neal knows that I'm trying, right? I'm trying to understand what's happening, what's going on, right? So always think about what's the outcome that you want, and don't worry about what they're not doing. Worry about what you can do more.
That's big facts.
I would say, to that point, just be a doer. Like, whatever it is that you know that you lock in on, lock in and do it. Because for me, I would say, man, you never know who's watching you. You never know. My best homie was watching me all of these years be a doer. And though the lights weren't on, you know, they ain't turned the lights on what I was doing yet, you know, at the same time, I kept doing it. I kept doing it. So when a brilliant idea came to the table, when a brilliant opportunity comes to the table, when you know, anything that could change your life comes to the table, that person that's looking for somebody, looking for a certain thing that you have, that you're already doing. He could have hit my line, and I could have had to learn how to figure out, what could I do to help this company?
I probably wouldn't even hit his line.
He wouldn't have hit my line. What could I bring to this company? It's a lot of opportunities around here. And a lot of times you may not be ready for it because you're not already doing whatever that thing is that you're supposed to do. It really doesn't matter what it is. Like,
how small it
is. Like sometimes we even look at certain things like we want glorified jobs or glorified opportunities. But what's wrong with if you sweep the best floor? What's wrong with owning a cleaning company? Like, and do that because you do it well. My wife tells me all the time, man, don't nobody clean up like you. I know she's saying that for me to clean up, but
she run the game on you.
But at the same time, she's right though. When I lock in to clean the house, I'm cleaning the whole house. I was raised like that. Like if I'm gonna sweep the floor, don't walk on this floor with your shoes on. Oh man, it's still some crumbs over there. I'm going back over there to get them crumbs. So if that was something that I really just locked into, I would own my own cleaning company, for example. And you determine the trajectory of how big it's gonna be. Maybe I would, I would take my marketing skills and market my company and run ads online. Whatever the case is, I'll make my own website, do whatever I gotta do.
And I actually know somebody who's a multi-millionaire because they own a cleaning company.
Come on, man.
You know, you get a lot of corporate contracts. For example, this school probably got contracts for cleaning grounds. You know, it's a lot of money in that.
COVID.
You know, especially with COVID. You know, so once again, it's about one thing that I even learned from Jamel is the magic is the idea. You get paid off the idea. Obviously, you got to put in the work. But without the idea, there's no work to be put in. You know, so when you guys have these ideas, write down everything. Keep your journal. Just call it my idea journal. Whatever, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how silly it might sound, write it down.
Write the vision. Look, he got the book. He got the book out already.
Exactly.
He got the book out already.
He in the front.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for wearing Yeezys, my brother.
Write the vision. See.
You know. So once again, you know, we have to always think ahead and think different. Like I look around this place, like this is a very nice auditorium, but guess what? Maybe 10 years, 5 years, somewhere down the line, they're gonna renovate this. So when they renovate this, if you're doing your network, learn how to put up a stage. Go get a contracting license. Go get bonded. Go get insured. Go follow the protocol. Find out who's going to write the check to get it done. Befriend them. Talk to them. Ask them questions. Yo, I got this new company. We wiring. We do speakers. Now you can get you a contract with the university. You know, obviously they go through a bidding process and all that. But you could go get the bid, be low because you're still learning, and go do it.
Absolutely. I want to talk to y'all real quick about the importance of networking and your support system. So many times y'all watch podcasts or videos or presentations on entrepreneurship. You always hear about the glitz and glamour of it, right? Like you start your own business and you make this much money and you work for yourself, you have freedom, and in a year you get a valuation for your company of $50 million, and that's all beautiful. What people don't tell you all about is a process and a journey. And I think for us, that's what's important for us to communicate and talk to you all about. What does a process look like? And when I think about process, I think about right now our support system. When you say you want to become an entrepreneur, well, I'll just give you our example. Right? When we first launched our company, February of 2021, of course, COVID was rampant, right? So for all of 2020, we just met week after week on Zoom. On Zoom. I'm talking about 4 and 5 hours. Right now I'm talking about sacrifice, right? 4, 5, 6 hours. Our wives would be like,
every day.
My wives would be like, what's up? Like y'all still meeting?
It's 10 o'clock at night.
Kids on your lap during the meeting, all of that.
All that, right? Because we believed in the vision that Mark came up with. So you had the vision, but we had to work it, right? Are any of us bakers? Absolutely not. Does any of us know anything about the baking industry? Absolutely not. But one thing we knew about.
We do now.
Now we do, right? But then we didn't, right? But what we did know was that our collective minds could really change the world. But our mind enough wasn't alone. We had to work it, right? Again, every week we meeting. I'm talking about action items. All right, Mark, you direct the sales. You contact the co-packer. You got this, you got that.
Done.
Done. Jamel was over the packaging. And we got bread here too. We're gonna make sure everybody gets as much bread as y'all can. And I want to show y'all a design in a second. Actually, one of the good Alpha brothers. Can one of y'all go out and get it's a box right outside that says a Black Bread Company. It has our bread in it.
Hey, real quick, man. Let me ask you guys a question while they doing that. With what you heard so far, raise your hands if you'd be willing to invest in this company, the Black Bread Company. All right. So, like I said, we got the $50 million valuation. We got $20 million contract. We have we've got to be in every stadium throughout the country. Everywhere where they sell hot dogs, buns, hamburger buns, we're bidding. We're getting them contracts. The beautiful thing about what we have is we're the only black ones doing it, right? And every company have to have minority participation. In the baking industry, what we discovered, they don't have any minority participation. So it's an actual corner how we able to come in and be able to secure all these contracts, right? Be able to secure all these things. So back to what I was saying about giving back. What we're about to do, we're about to open this company up because we want people to be able to take advantage of the growth of this company. Our whole thing and our whole motion is about economic development in our marginalized communities. And one thing that we do not have a lot of is, we don't have a bunch of opportunities to be a part of something that's on the ground floor. You know, and that's one thing that we're about to start doing probably in the next 30 days. So if anybody that's interested in that in the future, I would highly, highly suggest that you follow us on our Instagram page. Pull out your phones, get on Instagram.
Get in while you can.
Get on Facebook, because it's going to be, it's not a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing, but it's going to be a little bit that we do want to give out. You know, is Black Bread Co. at Black Bread Co. And follow us. And we'll let you guys know as soon as we open that up. You know, because it's definitely going to be, you know, an opportunity of a lifetime. You know, this company is looking 100% in the win. And also, we have a lot of celebrities and that's actually very much interested in, you know what I'm saying, investing and property on the bread as well.
With that said, we need everybody to take their phones out and follow The Black Bread Co. on Instagram. The Black Bread Co.
If you're trying to make some money.
Yeah. The opportunity is coming really soon, guys. And when we started this company, we said we want this. One of our mantras is that this brand is for us. We always say that. And now this opportunity is about to come where you literally can invest in our company in the early stages. Yes, sir.
So right now, we like $4 or $5 a stock. You know, I think it's going to be a minimum buy-in around like either like $200 to $250, you know, to get in. You know, we're only, because it is equity pieces that we are selling, so we're not going to sell a lot of it, but we do want to make sure that we get the people that we talk to, that hear us, that see us, give you guys the opportunity to know that it's coming. You know, that knows that this is here. Eventually, someday, we probably will go to the market and go public. You know, but that's somewhere down the line. And like I said, once again, you know, it's an amazing opportunity. You know, he got the hot dog buns. We got the, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, no matter how crazy the vision, how important do you think it is to, like, stick to it and don't care what
Oh, my God, that's everything, man. Like, so sticking to the vision is everything because only you can see your vision. You cannot expect me to see your vision. I cannot expect you to see my vision. Now, you might want to partner with somebody, either for financial help or somebody to help carry it. You know, you can explain it to them. If they're down, they're down. But depending on what type of vision that they do see, don't offer equity necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Give them a position and pay them.
But a lot of people, most people are not going to see your vision. Not because they not good at seeing vision, but because they're not supposed to see your vision. It's your vision. That year that he was talking about, 2020, when it was the pandemic, obviously George Floyd was murdered that year. The country was in, the world was in, you know, was in an uproar, all of those things. We was all locked in the house, all that kind of stuff. I think for this company, if nothing else, it was the best thing that could have happened.
For sure. And look, and why you talking about that?
We didn't tell nobody.
Yeah, my background is construction. You know, I build houses from the ground up, right? And during this time with the pandemic, my company almost like paused. You know, my workers didn't want to be around each other, you know. And I remember when I first started that, I started working underneath this developer. And when I walked into the house for the first time, I could not recognize what the bathroom was from what the closet was. All I seen was studs. Didn't see the vision. I knew this is something I wanted to do. I knew God put me on this earth to be a developer. My love for real estate came from the house I grew up in, that when my parents got a divorce, we ended up having to sell the house. And that house meant everything to me. And I loved everything about that house. So for me, I'm like, I want to build houses. I love that house. And it just drove me to get into the construction, to get into real estate. You see? So once again, everybody don't see it, but those like myself who want it, and even though I didn't quite see it, now I walk in there, man, oh my God, I see everything. It's hard to get something past me.
Yeah. What?
Could you describe some of the obstacles after your business was successful, like some things you couldn't prepare for, and then at what point did you consider it successful?
You got time for that?
Excellent question, man. For me, the number one issue that I had that it took me 8 months to figure out is distribution. The reason that distribution was so hard, I had no idea that every bread company delivered their own bread. You know, I expected, hey, I can get a distribution company like everybody else and have them deliver the bread. And no, everybody do. So every distribution company, they don't know how to deliver bread. They like, and what if it gets smashed? And we never done it before. I'm talking about big, major, $1 million a year global companies. So it took me 8 months of every day working and having to, I just got it. And literally have to strategically think about scalability. How are we gonna scale it? You know, we have to hire our own guys to hit the stores in Chicago.
U-Haul trucks.
But now, I got so good with it that I figured it out. We're about to take the Atlanta market over. Now we're able to go from state to state to state to state and run the same play all over again. You know, we already secured, well, I don't want to say secure, but we're in the talks of securing a contract with the Atlanta airport. I'm not sure if anybody been to Atlanta, but it's a huge airport, right? Brand new Delta airport, you know. And once again, you know, it's those type of opportunities that we don't normally have, right? You really start doing big business, right? You start really opening you up to new opportunities. So my biggest, at the time, failure, right, my biggest challenge, once I figured it out, is the greatest goal that this company has had so far. Because now I can get the bread anywhere.
Wait, did y'all hear that? Our biggest challenge since we launched turned to our hugest or our best profit that we'll have in our company, right? So it went from this huge challenge and issue to a magnitude of an asset, right? But only because, like I said, we didn't give up. We could have said, oh man, I don't know who gonna distribute our bread. I don't know, we gotta figure something out. At some point it happened. No, we kept at it. We didn't stop. But to your question about the challenge, it's tying to what I was saying earlier before they brought the bread in. It's about y'all's support system and networking. Again, when we launched, we lost jobs. We didn't have money. We literally, all three of us used the last of our savings to put together, right? With the blessing of our wives, to put all of our savings together to launch this company, literally, right? And middle of pandemic, no jobs. Put our money together. When we launched on February 1st of 2021, almost a year later, we had $1.87 left in our business account.
We ran that thing down to the dime.
Right, and why? Packaging costs, right?
Manufacturing
Legal fees,
costs.
the bread, manufacturing, all these things. And I'm saying all that to say is that your networking, your support system starts right now, right? I met my wife in college. Mark met his wife in high school. Right?
High school sweetheart, that's right.
You know, and what I'm saying, we talk about, again, all these beautiful things about entrepreneurship, but if you don't have a strong support system when times get hard, what's going to happen next, right? Who's going to help you out? Everybody want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody want to be that, and that's cool. Not everybody, but a lot of people talk about entrepreneurship. But what comes to that territory? You know what comes with it? When your product don't sell, you don't eat, right? When your shirt's not moving, whenever you're doing, whatever your business venture is, when it's not selling, you don't get paid. Actually, most times you're not getting paid anyway the first few years. So you don't have a job. You're going 100% with this company. So who's going to assist you? Who's going to support you?
You know, and also you got to figure out, you know, why your price is your price. You see, I think a lot of times, you know, people don't really know how to price their products. You know, either you could be overpriced or you be underpriced. It's hard to understand exactly what your price is, right? It's interesting to see how much I go. I bet you if I ask everybody in here, how much would you price this bread, this loaf of bread, if it was your company, I'll probably get 50 different answers.
Let's test it out.
All right, let's try it.
Like, what's the show?
Name your price.
All right,
For this loaf of bread.
For this beautiful loaf of honey wheat right here, what would you all price it at?
What would you price it at? $3. All right.
$3 going once. What we got?
$3. All right.
One more.
$5. I like you.
Okay. What'd you say?
7. I like you too. 7. What else? Yeah. 6. I like that. Now for the guys that's saying the 5, the 7, and 6, what brought you guys to that number? Huh? What about you? Yeah, for sure.
What you got? Oh, but when I was about bread though, since the market, like since a lot of bread is based around the same price, it couldn't really. You guys, it would be harder for you guys to be at $7 while other people at $3.
I mean, you would think that. So
I want to speak to that. My mic went yellow. But no, that's great. That's great.
yeah, that's a good thought.
So here's a dope thing about presenting an idea or a concept that doesn't exist even in an industry that
does
is
exist.
extremely
Oversaturated.
saturated. So one would think, yeah, we should probably charge $3 for this loaf of bread because everybody else is charging whatever $3 for a loaf of bread. I'm gonna let you go, bro. Sales wise, at the end of the day, man, we've been able to present an idea, not even a product. This is an old product. This product is 100 years old, but we've presented an idea, a concept so strong that Jules wants to sell it for $7. Mariano's can sell it right next to a 100-year brand that we all know of and have been buying for the last 100 years. They're selling their bread for $2.
But guess what?
And this can be right next to it.
I suggest $3.99. So we had a situation where I suggest $3.99 as the retail price at the time, right? Now, inflation is going up. Everybody's bread's going to go up, just FYI, right? Because yesterday's price is not today's price. But at this time, you know, my suggested price to them is $3.99. That's what I want my customers to buy it as. This loaves of bread was flying off the racks. So much to the point, once again, another challenge, we did not expect the bread to fly off the shelves so quick, right? So to one person, that seemed like, oh man, that's amazing. Like, your product is selling. Like you selling out. But guess what? Every time I sell out, then somebody else can go buy it. Now that customer's having a negative impact on the scarcity of the bread. I came all the way over here after work. I didn't even have to come to this store. But I came here to get the bread, they don't have the bread. So now I'm delivering to these stores daily. My plan at the beginning was once a week. That's my plan.
And that's
like
a lot.
That's a lot. I'm like, yo, we got all these stores.
We talking about 44 stores.
We in these stores once a week, and everything be straight. We good. But then we turn around, they selling out every day. So now that's more labor, that's more trucks, that's more figuring things out logistics wise, right? I'm trying to make things make sense. And then I say all of that to say that at the end of the day, that what the stores started to do, because our bread was selling and because no other bread could sell until our sell out, they raised our bread to almost $5. They ain't let us know. I had no idea that the bread was on sale for like, $4.89, $5. Until somebody, I think it's maybe my sister, somebody took a picture like, hey, your bread $5. And I'm like, what? $5? I'm like, somebody owe me some money. But the store did that to try to stop the sales of my bread so that other bread can sell, because other companies are, complaining that their bread is not moving, and they paying for they shelf space, right? And it's not moving because ours. I'm not gonna say a brand, but a very popular brand that everybody look at as a gourmet brand, they dropped their price from $3.99 to $1.29 because their bread was next to our bread, right? But guess what? Even at the price that they had, it's still selling out daily. They still couldn't sell a bread till we sell a bread. So it's the thing is, it's what we see the value at.
That's it. Believe in
the representation that somebody have that they can go to the store finally and buy a delicious loaf of bread. Now, when you eat the bread, it tastes like a good bread. It's bread. It's a really good bread.
It's really good bread.
It is. It's a really good bread. You know,
But
but
you're buying an idea.
you're buying the idea.
Anything that you purchase, anything that you consume, yeah, it might be a shirt, but you're buying what that shirt represents.
And what it make you feel.
I know for a fact, y'all shirts represent something. Y'all bought into that. Like anything that we consume, like, again, yeah, it's bread, but that package that it's in makes it a different bread. It makes it a certain brand bread. It makes it a certain brand. It makes it a specific idea.
Details.
And representation, real quick, I'm gonna get to you. So one of my favorite pictures is it was like this 8 or 9 year old girl. She went to the store to buy this bread. This little girl was so excited because she's in the store with her mother and able to buy her first black-owned loaf of bread. The smile on her face is like ear to ear. She added us in it. I'm like, that's my favorite picture in the world. That's why I'm doing this. It's the representation. It's the fact that we're so used to going to the store, buying everything, and it does not represent you. So why are you struggling to pay for school? That sandwich you just ate, putting somebody else to school. Probably the same school. And they ain't got to pay for it because they family have a company that's feeding you. And we don't think about these things. We just consume these things. We have to change our mindset from being consumers to being owners. Right? I want to know the return on my investment at all times. When I spend something, I want to know what I'm getting for it. Period. What do you have to say, my man? Oh, okay.
Mark always talks about awakening the consciousness of consumers, specifically black consumers. And why that's so important is that we buy so many products every day, so many different products. And when Mark called me, hey, bro, you know there's no black-owned sliced bread companies? Now, imagine getting that call, right? It's so bizarre. You're like, what? Like, what you mean? Right, I've been eating bread my entire life. And you go to all right, when you go to Bread Owl, how many brands you think you see? Just an estimate. A normal Bread Owl in a big grocery store, how many do you think you see? Just throw some numbers out there. 20, right? Give or take, 15 or 20, easily. But guess what? Those brands probably owned by, 3 or 4 companies. You might see 15, but owned by 3 or 4 big conglomerate companies. So Mark called me, I'm like, nah, it got to be that store. Like, I didn't believe it. I'm like, it has to be the store you're in. It got to be one. And I started Googling, couldn't find anything. And as we researched more and more, we realized that the sliced bread industry started in the early 1920s.
Man, hold on. We paid for a legal search, right? Because I'm like, I need to know this. I'm like, man, search all the icons, find it all. You know?
Cafes, restaurants.
Whatever. You know? It's 66 black-owned bakeries. It's 66 of them in the country. But none of them do this. You know,
commercial.
No commercial.
So you guys are the first.
We're the first. Correct.
And how imminent do you think it was to represent the black within?
I think it was extremely important.
Great question.
You know,
we got a story for that.
We definitely got a story for that because Jamel actually came up with the name. You know, but I think it's so critical that we start taking pride and not be ashamed to call something black or call something our own. Because guess what? Yes. They got white bread. They got Italian bread, right? They got Chinese food. You know,
Mexican food.
They got Mexican food. They got all this stuff. But when it comes to us, it's all soul food. Oh my God.
Why I gotta be black? Why I gotta be black?
We see so many people, even from a different, like networks we get on. We get on some networks. Oh, great job, guys. Then we get on some network. Oh, them guys are racist. You know, why you gotta call it black? You know, it's like, why you call white bread white? You know, why do you call Italian bread Italian bread? You know?
French fries.
Why do you call French fries? If the potato is made in
Idaho, yeah.
Idaho.
It's an Idaho potato.
And I'm making it, I'm cooking it, I'm chopping it up. Why is it still a French fry?
I'm calling mine black fries.
You know, that's the point. You know, It's a threat. It's a threat when it's us because of our history in this country, and people don't want us to shake that as much as they want us to get over it. They want us to stay in a place. And if we are ashamed to say, I'm black, this product is black owned, it's for everybody. We all inclusive, of course. We're not saying it's for you and not for you. It's not about that. But it's about being proud of what it is. And we only make sure that we have a gourmet type of product. We want to have the best of the best because as you guys know, we have to work 10 times as hard. We got to be 10 times better just to get noticed. We got to go 10 times harder, period. So I can't come up here with a cheap loaf of bread. I can't come up here, I don't have that privilege to come up here with a cheap loaf of bread that if you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with peanuts in it like he like, it's breaking apart and it's falling through and it got holes in it and you can be like, man, this little, and you throw it out. We can't do that. But Jamel, get to the name of the black bread company.
But to your point, it's because we're graded on a different scale. But no, even down to the name, I can remember in the beginning, of course, obviously after getting the call and us being on Zoom calls, beginning the process of learning the industry and what this company would be, but it's still being an idea or a fresh idea early on. I can remember just getting to that point of all the three of us saying, man, what's the name? What's the name gonna be? What's the name gonna be?
It had to be a good name, man.
Exactly.
We can't come out with no trash name.
But he just said it. Man, it's the first black bread company. What we gonna name it? We kept saying it. It's the first black bread company. What we gonna name it? What we gonna name it? And it was just like, yo, stop. Like, yo, that's it. The Black Bread Company. There are no others. Yeah. Now, and again, we're first. We don't want to be only. Number one, we don't want to be only. We're privileged, and we have the responsibility that comes with being first. But that said, in terms of that, now we are the Black Bread Company. Anybody else can come and be melanin bread or be, power bread, whatever. That's cool. But for us, it's like, yo, we first. So we're going to stand up and we're going to be first. We're going to make, of course, the freshest quality bread we can make. We're going to make it look as dope or as good as we can make it look. I'll be honest, I don't think you can go in the bread aisle and see any other loaf of bread, any other brand that looks as good as this.
Yeah, we got a pretty fly loaf of bread.
That's just my opinion.
That's pretty fly,
for sure. But even that the whole concept was just to come and put our absolute best foot forward and
down to the details.
Yeah, and having to be 10 times better at this point in life, it's not a bad thing. The good thing is we know it. We know we have to be 10 times better. So be 10 times better.
Yeah, go ahead. Like, now that you know that, that you guys are the first, does that put any extra fear on you to have to succeed, want to succeed?
You know what? That's a good question because I would say it gives me personally a sense of responsibility to not give up. I think we live in a time, in a day and age where we want instant gratification immediately. We want success right now. If it's not working right now, we ready to quit and give up. And I think because we are the first, it definitely make me want to, like I said, keep working on them 8 months. If I was still working on it right now to find distribution, I'll still be working on that. You see what I'm saying? It does kind of fuel me in a way where I can't give up. And then also I start thinking, hey, I don't have to do everything this year. I don't have to make $1 million this year. I don't have to set these large goals this year. Right now, we're learning the company. Right now, we're building relationships. I'm not saying yes to any company that I don't feel comfortable with that represent us well. We could have easily already been in 10,000 grocery stores right now. But I scaled us back. I scaled down because there is a such thing as creating a company that's a bubble, and you have the bubble effect. You get big and oh my God, it's so big, it's so beautiful. I love it. And then pop, So if you want something I see you, brother. Hold on one second. If you want something that's gonna be sustained, something that, like I said, my 5 generations from now can still have this and operate this and push this forward, then you want to really go slow, because this right now we're still in the foundation period. So in the foundation period is the most important period of your company, because no matter what happens in this world, you only got your foundation to stand on. You know, you got to think of national disasters. You know, for example, in this industry, when it's a snowstorm or it's a blizzard, that's green for us. That means send more bread to the stores. We're going to make more money in blizzards. You know why? Because everybody running out to the store and getting groceries so that they can stay home in the blizzard and not have to go out. So they buy in double. They buy more than they normally buy. So these are all things that we had to learn. You know, these are all things that we have to, you know, take account for in the future, you know, so we can stay. So, yeah, we're in our future right now. What's going on, brother?
Ask questions, y'all.
A downfall? No, for sure. Yeah, of course, man. Like, bro, you're not going to do anything successful without failure. Get used to failing. You know, when I say get used to failing, what I mean is build a tough skin. Because every time you fail, it actually makes you stronger for the next fail. You know, so absolutely, you know, we had downtimes, we had issues, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a big company. You know, for example, we got stuck in California when we did the Ellen show, right?
2 weeks.
And 2 weeks because of COVID, but yet because we was on Ellen show, we got over $80,000 worth of orders that need to go out. And we sit in California, can't do nothing.
And we're normally in the warehouse.
And we normally in the warehouse working and getting it done. So imagine having that pressure. And that's the first time that happened. You see, so that's a lot of pressure. Like, dude, we got all these people money. We got to get the product out. Like, we got to go. But guess what? I can't do nothing for another 6 days. Oh, we got 6 days. We call in the doctor. Can we go out now? Can we leave? Nope. You know, so at the same time, you know, you're going to have to overcome. You know, you got to overcome those obstacles. You know, it's okay to fail. For example, you guys are in school, so I don't want you guys failing. You know, don't take that in the wrong context. You know, Mark said I could fail. No, don't fail. You know, whatever you do, don't fail. But if you do fail, I do want you to look at it different. I don't want you to look at it as defeat. You know, go talk with your professor. You know, during office hours. Hey, can I do a retest? You know, I told a teacher once, look, you could chop 30 points off no matter what I get. I need a retest. I'm not. Why? Because I believe in me. Like I said, I'll take the test and you ain't got to grade me on it. But I want to pass it because when I leave here, I got to turn this theory into reality. You know, and that's the difference, right? We get so caught up on a theory that we forget we got to practice it. You know, so it's something that you have to know. You gonna play this? Oh. I thought that was a video.
No, I was just showing y'all our website, blackbreadco.com. We ship nationwide. It's really important to know. So
actually globally, we have shipped to
have
Japan,
UK,
Africa,
true,
Canada.
And I'm saying that because right now we're not in grocery stores in Carbondale, right? However, if you want our bread every month, we have something called the Private Bread Club, where we ship bread to your home monthly, right? 2-pack, 6-pack, 10-pack, and we had to learn that even right away, right? Because we got on our Facebook Live during our launch, February 1st, 2021, and it was over 10,000 people on Instagram Live and Facebook Live that wanted our bread. Now, mind you, we knew nothing about shipping bread. Actually, no bread comes even shipped bread, right? Because they wanted to smush, and it's a quick expiration date. So we had to literally figure out, how do we ship bread to people's homes? You know, and we had to figure it out, and we had to pivot. So kind of what Mark was saying earlier, when you go through these obstacles, you can't give up. You just got to figure out it's other ways around every situation. And now it's crazy because a few months after that, these well-known bread companies like asking us, how do y'all do that?
The number one companies in the world, they come
like,
to
y'all
us.
ship bread? Like,
and
how do y'all do that?
Yeah, they taking us to dinner. You know, they you know, acquisitions. Of course, they want to buy our company. You know, we like, no, not right now. You know, we good. you know. But that's what happens when, you know, you're doing something right. You know, when you start having the number one bread manufacturer in the country and possibly the world start knocking at your doorstep and start noticing you, you know, then you're moving in the right direction. You know, the thing is knowing how to play your cards, knowing when not to fold. You know, I always say we will always do what's best for the company. You know, me leading the company or Charles leading the company or Jamel leading the company might not always be the best thing for the company. Or it might be. You know, so we have to always do what's best for the company because this brand is for us. This brand is here to stay. You know, this brand wants your support. It needs your support. And this brand is a representation of you. So like Charles said, I'm not sure how many loaves of bread we have here, but we hope everybody can get at least one. We want you guys to get a loaf of bread. Try it. Eat it. Make a sandwich. Right? Peanut butter and jelly, whatever. You know. And when you eating the bread, you can sit back and realize, like, wow, I can buy this bread and I'm not sacrificing anything. Right? Because sometimes when we start thinking about supporting a black-owned business, it almost seems like it's a sacrifice, right? It's almost like, well, if I buy this bread, then I'm going to miss the other bread. And, you know, and I grew up on the other bread. I really like that bread. No, you're not sacrificing anything. You know, you're actually upgrading, you know, in reality. You know, we're going through a lot of changes, you know, as a company. We're growing. You know, it's literally all amazing things, you know what I'm saying, in the future of this company, you know, from, like I said, having our hot dog buns, you know, all over the country. You know, hopefully one day we have our hot dog buns here in y'all concession stands. What up? Let's make that happen. You know, because that's what it's about, right? And it's about relationships, and it's about continue to build, you know. And you know, I couldn't be prouder. You know, I really want to thank you guys for listening to me. You know, I'm open, you know, for networking. If you guys have any questions, you know, I'm here.
We got to do something about that, actually. Now I'm thinking more about it. I'm a double alumni at SIU, co-founder of Blackberry Company. The Blackberry Company used to be at SIU, right? Can we talk about
Yo,
Hey, we got y'all support.
But look, y'all could push for that while also owning a portion of the company.
And that's how we have to think,
Yeah.
right?
So even when you go to our website, for example, if you just subscribe to our email list, you'll know when we will begin the crowd seed funding and all those things like that. So you could have this brand in your school and you own a portion of it.
So every time somebody take a bite of that hot dog, or if they buy it and throw it away, you getting paid. I mean, it depends on where it's going, right? So yes, the bread sometimes ride in trucks, you know. But if he's shipping it to a residence or a business, like through the mail, you know what I'm saying, we try to use either, you know, UPS, you know, preferably that's what we try to use. You know, sometimes go through the post office. If we, you know, shipping bread down to like a store or, you know what I'm saying, a event or a ball field or something like that, then it is placed on trucks and shipped out. So even for us, like, I'm growing, I'm learning every day, and instead of like having bread trays, I know you guys probably seen the bread trays before that stack up, you know. Like, now I'm at the point, I don't want the bread trays. I'm having everybody buy pallets, you know, because it's easier, you know, it's more profitable for the company, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, it forces people to have a minimum order. Yep. So, man, we started off with U-Haul, Budget, you know, you name it. If they rent it, we buying it to the point, I mean, like, to the point, like, we spending thousands and thousands of dollars a week to the point where we just said, hey, guys, we got to go buy some trucks, you know. So we went out, we bought our truck. So right now it's a combination between, you know, our trucks. If it get real crazy, we'll still rent a truck. Or, like I said, we have a distribution company now, a partnership that we have. so that they can distribute the bread and move it for us. Yes, ma'am. I definitely got a CDL. I'm a one-stop shop. You know, I straight up.
Serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, I got a truck company too. Yeah.
Should you trademark before you come out with your brand or after?
Oh, you definitely want to do it before. You know, so the Black Bread Code is trademarked. The Black Bread Company is trademarked. You know, so that's a beautiful thing. We actually own the patent. So any event that there is another Black Bread Company come out, they can't say, "Hey, I'm a Black Bread Company." Boop, stop and desist. You know, because that's us. Go ahead.
Have you ever faced any discrimination, like when you're discussing business with, because I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're a minority within this type of business. So have you ever faced any discrimination?
All day.
So that's a great question. So we first launched, we had to figure out who's gonna make the bread, manufacturing, all the above. So we met with a manufacturing company, and we sat down with our vision, right? We went to a meeting. I think we had a logo at that point, website, I believe, right? Our vision, right? And so as we talking, this guy worked for another known bread company for like over 20 years. And so as we talking, also it's a Caucasian male. As we talking, he says, you know what? In my 40 years in business, I've never sat down with black people at all in business, and definitely not to talk about open up a bread company, right? And so as we talking, it's interesting, man, because I'm thinking back that when we first started talking to him, he was like, no, I don't think so, and maybe not. It's a penny game. I'm not sure. And as we further along, this goes with following your vision and believing in what you want to do. As we steady talking and saying what we want to do and how we want to do it, we believe in the power of marketing. About 30 minutes in, what he started doing?
He's like, you guys can go from here to here. Like he knew instantly, like the growth.
Like I'm talking about flipped his whole tenor. Like everything changed.
Because you gotta imagine, they don't want us necessarily in this game. So right now, they all know by us being black owned that we're going to have a piece of the pie. Their fear is they don't know where our piece starts and ends at. And you got to understand that the black dollar is the most spent dollar, right? So we are the biggest consumers. Yeah. So if you tap it into the black consumer, where they've been getting all that black dollars for all these years, and then quietly, right? Because who thinks of bread, right? Nobody thinks of bread. So it's quiet money that they've been getting for generations. And then now we pop up on the scene, they like, oh my God, what if everybody start buying their bread, right? So they don't necessarily want that, you know?
I think it's even larger than that. Yeah, what if everybody starts buying their bread? Or what if, like you say, what if this group of people starts buying their bread? That's one thing. But what if the people that buy into the idea, their consciousness, or the level of consciousness overall is raised? Not just black people, not just white people, not just, what if people, us as consumers, what if our consciousness is raised by a brand like this, by an idea like this? It's not just limited to us. It's not just limited to this idea. It's all of these ideas. It's everybody that's in this room. Everybody. What if we all are enlightened and awakened into what we consume, what companies, what brands we support, what organizations we stand behind? To me, that's what they're afraid of. So it's obviously not limited to us. What we got, bro?
I wanted to highlight this because this is what Jamel said. This is the part that, as these conglomerate companies, this is the part they're scared of. This is part of our mission statement. A purchase from you today helps spread the word that we are working together to express positive black images, unity, and a shift in generational success, right? When you start something and it turns to generational success, generational progression, that affects the big dogs, right? That affects those who've been doing it for over 100 years. And again, we say black unity, but what we're really talking about really is marginalized people, minorities, anybody that's marginalized in our society. And that's the part that scares those that's been trying their hardest to keep us out of this market or any market that don't look like us. So I just want to really highlight that because that's exactly what he's talking about.
And,
Yeah,
and we did this so that we could come together and do this.
Exactly.
So
that we can sit here and talk to you guys.
everybody in this room, we're having a conversation about the process. It's all about every question that's been asked, it's been geared toward the process. To me, that tells me that the people in this room aren't looking to emulate somebody's success or what you see on the surface. Y'all are asking, yo, what happens every day?
Yeah.
What do you do when it gets hard? What are some of y'all greatest challenges? That's because y'all know that it's a process to whatever you're trying to do. And when things get rough in that process, well, should I tell everybody? No, I shouldn't tell everybody. Should I get tired? Should I quit? No, I shouldn't quit, because there's a reason why you started in the first place. So when things get rough, you focus on the why you started. That's why we started. Do we want to sell billions of dollars worth of bread? Absolutely yes. But when things get rough and those sales are short, or we got too many orders, or we can't fulfill the orders, we get back to the why we started. When we are in that meeting and it might not go so well. We've had at least one. I thank God we've had one meeting where I could say, I feel like we were underprepared and it didn't go well.
But we prepared ourselves. So this is we family, right?
We family.
Right?
We fall family. Okay.
All right, bet. So this is a conversation we had with Target, right? And so Target reached out, obviously, like they're interested. They like, yo, we gotta have you. And so the guy who introduced us to Target, he kind of told us, like, it's just kind of like an introductory, like, hey, they just want to see your faces, meet you, hear your story, intro conversation. Cool. So we like set it up. They set it up, and to our surprise, it was a buyer that's like, all right, shoot your proposal. And we like, proposal? Yeah, we chilling. We like, hey, like, we just want to meet you. Like, how's it going? And then when that happened, you know, we stumbled through it. It was like it was bad, and it was like, whoa, what? Like we felt bad. Like we like, bro, hold on. What was the worst part? We had the presentation. The worst part is we had the presentation. We had everything that we needed. You know, I just found the distribution, right? I just figured that part out, but we was underprepared because we thought it was just a, hi, I want to introduce you to my friend. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I work at Target. You know, hey, let's talk a little further. Let's follow up, and then let me know when you guys want to do the presentation. That's what we think that was going to be. It wasn't. Now, it's a saying that says you only get one shot with Target. And so in our mind, we like, we messed up. That was the dream story. Like, dude, who don't want to get in Target? So the product is so good that people wanted and supported so well. Target came back around. Months later. Like.
Hold on. Follow up. They didn't just come back. We started sending them emails.
We started sending them emails.
They got an incubator program.
Yeah.
Got online. Apply for the incubator.
And then they were saying us like, you guys are way too qualified to go to this program and all that stuff. So it came back around. So this time when we got this one, we like, oh, we over-prepared. Like, you know, I'm killing it. I'm pulling everything up on the line. I'm like, when she asks this question, I'm showing this. And like, our pitch deck is beautiful. We like, hey, you gonna read this part, you read this part, I read this part. We gonna get this part, we gonna show this part. Like, we are ready. So now, we in this meeting with a whole different energy. We in there like, what's up? Like pull up. Like, what you wanna do? Like, and we killed it. We killed it so much, like we over-prepared. We had things ready that she didn't ask for. She's like, hey, okay, I want you guys. I'm like, hold on, I ain't show you this. Boop, I'm prepared. Look, oh, I gotta show you this. Boop. You know, she's like, oh, wow, great. You know, so long story short, we be coming in Target soon. You know,
that's the importance of preparation, y'all. It's so important.
And that's also that shows you when you fail. We failed the first time. You know, now we'd have failed this like, oh,
they got cocky, right?
Because, man, forget them.
Target.
We ain't working on. We ain't worried about it. You know, whatever. They come back. Nah. We did that.
I'm gonna go on a tangent, but I thought I seen like an artist with you guys' bread promoting it. Did you guys have like any artists? Like a hip hop artist? Yeah. No,
You know, the bread got around. Like it's really no telling. It's a few people, you know, that are, you know, celebrities that, you know what I'm saying, it starts circulating. You know,
Ricky Smiley.
Yeah, Ricky Smiley,
Ellen.
You know, for example, we did the Discovery
players,
Plus
basketball Discovery,
thing
yeah.
with so Jay-Z's aware of the brand. You know, Beyonce is aware of the brand. From what I heard, you know, Blue loves the bread. You know, I don't know how facts that is, so don't. Hey, you ain't heard it here. I don't know.
Breaking news. They don't even know this yet, but we shipping bread to Tina Knowles next week.
Yeah, exactly. Tina knows getting bread. You know, Derrick Rose, I know for sure had it. His son PJ loves the bread. You know, of course, like Jeremiah. You know, my homie Corporate. I don't know if anybody's seen. You know, you seen I was on a skit with Corporate. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, like
that was his acting debut.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I need in. You know. But, you know, so it's really been, you know what I'm saying, floating around and getting to the higher ups. So we also recently connected with, I'm not sure if you guys know E.T. or the hip-hop preacher.
Eric Thomas. Motivational speaker.
So we recently connected with him. You know, he want to be a part of the team. You know, so we're growing. You know, our network is growing. You know, the people that we're meeting and being introduced to is growing.
All y'all can be a part
and
of
all
the
you
growth.
guys can be a part of that, as
Early.
well as, all you guys can go out here and be, hey, what you call it, brand ambassadors? You know what I'm saying? We're going to be looking for some brand ambassadors.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, so can you just stress the importance of networking? Like, how did you get from point A to, like, where you are now?
All right, so for me particularly, the bread industry was an extremely hard network because, you know, we had no one in it, right? That looks like us, right? That understands us. But networking is critical, right? You know, like your net worth is your network. You know, like that is real. You know, because now we're getting to the place where, you know, we met certain celebrities or certain people that introduced us to other celebrities, and, you know, we was able to meet a lot of people, and, you know what I'm saying, financial advisors, you know, accountants and people in the business, you know, corporate attorneys. Like you start meeting just a lot of people where your company can just grow and grow the right way. You know, my one thing I would say, always ask questions. I'm the first one to tell anybody, I know what I know and I know what I don't know. Period. I'm not ashamed. You know, I'm not perfect. You know, I don't know everything. I don't have every answer, but I know how to go get the answers, right? Because I believe, you know, we always just, you know what I'm saying, 6 dimensions away from somebody. So I'll holler at you, hey, man, who you know? I know you know somebody. You know somebody who knows somebody. You know somebody who knows somebody. Or you might just know the person. Somebody in this room probably know Chance the Rapper, right? And so somebody like, oh, yeah, that's my cousin. That's my cousin's family. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, yo, you network. You get in there. You figured it out.
Yep.
You know, you go to somebody's Instagram post. If you see that they took a picture with somebody, I would ask them, hey, do you know that person? You just seen them, you took a picture. Because if you know them, I would like an introduction. Now, if you just seen them and you just took a picture with them and you don't know them, I understand. That's cool, too. But I need to know.
Yep. I want to add to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you done? Before I forget, your network, and I got to reiterate this, your networking is only as strong as a follow-through. All right? Your network is only as strong as your follow-through. So you can know 100 people, right? But are you reaching out to them? Are you following up? Are you saying, do you know about have you heard about me? Do you know I'm about to do this? Or I'm trying to do that? Are you doing that? Because if not, it's a waste. I remember Diddy posted, Pup Diddy, whatever he calls himself now, about, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago on his Instagram, he said, it was an interview. He was like, my Instagram, my social media is dedicated strictly to making money. He says dedicated strictly to marketing. He said it's the only place you have where all these people are just here, right? You have, like, that's your social media foot traffic. So if they're all here and you got a product, why aren't you taking advantage of these people? Right? That's literally a strong network that we think, oh, it's cool. What I don't get, and I still don't understand, is that the same person, why you keep following the same person on every single network? I'm friends with you on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Why? What are we talking? Are we trying to figure things out? Are we trying to get business together? It has to make sense. Because if not, you're wasting social capital. Don't waste that. Who all on TikTok? Majority of y'all, right? And who at this point, how many of y'all had a TikTok video that went viral? Anybody had it viral? One? Right? Right, but you've seen a lot of people TikToks go viral. Are they making money off that TikTok going viral? Are they still doing it? Or is it, oh, it's cool, man. My video went viral.
You gotta know how to monetize.
Yeah, my video went viral, and that's that. All right, what's the next step? That's that follow through. That's like, I want more out of the situation. It ain't enough for me to know you. I want to know, how can we assist each other? How can we help each other? How can we build one another? Any more questions? The best part about us speaking places is the questions. Any more questions? Wrap up soon.
100%.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, at some point, I'm looking to invest, bro. I'm investing in a lot of stuff. Nah,
Well, let's talk.
Let's talk, man. Straight up.
And speaking of that, we partner with an organization called Family Community Services, where we partner with them, and they provide us with interns from 18 to 24 years old. Usually, most times it's been young black men, and it's been beautiful. Like, they've been interning with us. And why we love it so much is because when we were in high school or even going to college, we never had the opportunity to work with people that look like us, that were CEOs or founders of a company, right? So think about that. They're coming to our office every day, working with us, shadowing us, asking questions, figuring out, how does this company work?
Or they come in and wasting time. You know, I always got to give you the good with the bad. You know, it's certain people that we take on because we want to give everybody opportunities. But one thing that I refuse to do is waste my time. I feel time is the most valuable thing, period. And as long as you appreciate the time, as long as that you want it, I'll spend all the time you need. But if it's something that you don't want, and you're doing it because your mom making you do it, or you're doing it because whatever other reasons, then you cannot waste my time. I'm not going to allow you. You know, and so that's one thing about that purpose, about what's driving you. Any opportunity that you have, you take full advantage of it. Period.
And if y'all want to connect with us, y'all will figure it out. No,
I'm
seriously.
on social media.
No, I'm just being 100 with y'all. If anybody in this room wanted to really network with one of us, and you was driven about that, and you was serious about that, you'll go on our website, you'll go on social media, you'll make it happen. I'll leave it at that.
All right. So let's give a wonderful applause for the Black Bread Company. We can't thank them enough for coming out and being with us tonight. And as Charles said, I definitely believe there's a process to everything. There was a process to us getting them here.
Absolutely.
Multiple emails, multiple text messages, but we're so excited that they were able to join us tonight. Before we leave, I'd like to just mention our co-sponsors for tonight. Remember, this is TriO Week. We've got some programs out on the table, so if you want to join us for any events for the rest of this week, don't forget to pick that up. So, of course, the sponsors are TriO Student Support Services, Project Upward Bound, and McNair Scholars. Check those programs out. And our co-sponsors are the Vice Chancellor of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, the Division of Student Affairs, the School of Comm Studies, and we have some of the faculty out from Comm Studies tonight. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
And of course, last but not least, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. So thank you guys for collaborating with us and coming out to be with us tonight. That concludes our program, but I think the guys will be here for a little bit, and so if you guys want to talk with them, grab some bread, you're welcome to do that. So thank you again for coming out.
Appreciate y'all.